Most creators don't fail because they're untalented. They fail because they try to make every single video perfect and then they burn out. And honestly, I've done the exact same thing. I've failed countless times, stopped making videos just because of that thing. In this video, I want to give you an almost boring strategy that if you stick to it, it will completely change your channel. These are the 3 things that stop me overthinking. Enjoy creating again and start making content without overthinking and burning out. Because the truth is, blowing up on YouTube isn't because you're being perfect. It's just about staying in the game long enough and improving over time that will make you blow up on YouTube. So if you've been struggling with perfectionism, low motivation, or getting stuck with your content, this video is for you. Now the first one might sound backwards, but it's really something that can change your channel. And that is quantity over quality. You see, we've been taught in school, at our jobs, that we need to make perfect things as best as possible. And there is some truth to that. But if you try and make as much content as possible, you will improve with presence on camera. You will improve with maybe editing if you actually do that. And just making a ton of content will make you improve a lot better. I've heard about this study that I don't even know if it's true. It's been going on internet for a very long time, but it's very true to some extent. And they took a class and divided it into 2 groups of people. One had to make the perfect pot. The other had to make as many pots as possible. This was something that they had to do. So the first group took a very long time to make the perfect pot, to make it as beautiful as possible. And the other one was focused on making as many pots as possible. It didn't really matter if it was good or not. They just had to do as many as possible. That was their job. And what ended up happening is the people that did as many as possible actually had better quality by the end of the thing than the one that was just focused on quality. Just because of the experience of making pots over and over and over again, they just started to make it a lot better. And content is exactly like that. You see, when I tried to make the perfect video, scripting it and all that stuff, it took me 3 weeks to put out a video. And now, when I don't script my videos, I only script my intro, which I talked about in several of my other videos. My quality tends to improve because I talked to people like they were my friends, and some people don't like that and they don't subscribe and they don't watch my videos, but other people, just like you watching it, hopefully, you enjoy me talking about that, talking like it was my friend. Like, I'm not trying to make this video perfect, I'm trying to do it well to help you as much as possible, and that tends to have a positive effect. If I try to script my videos, I sound like it's not 100% me. My videos tend to take 10 times longer to make, and I'm only able to put out a video every 3 weeks. But with that, just scripting the intro and having points to make, I just share my story and what I want to do, and I can make 2 videos a week because I'm doing that, or at least 1 video a week, but we're trying to do 2 a week right now, but 1 a week is easy for me, just because I found something that helps me put more content with quantity over quality by scripting my videos and having the perfect points. Instead, I'm just focused on letting myself speak, trying to go on with the least tangents possible, and just bringing quantity. And the quantity just improves, just like the pots, just improves the quality. And I think most beginners just try to make the perfect videos. If your first video is super cringe, that's a good thing. The second thing, which ties into the first one, is creative burnout actually exists. And I think that was a really good point. When I tried to make my script all of my videos word for word, just putting a lot of work into before the video rather than during the video, and just trying to script everything. Like, I couldn't get through to make the video. That's why it took me 3 weeks to make a single video, because the creative burnout is true. You are going to burn out if you try to make everything possible, to put so much pressure on yourself to make the perfect videos. And that's exactly what I was doing. I thought that this video is going to be perfect because somebody that's successful told me to do it. And I can see that it's so much better than my other videos if I put in the script. But the truth is, it was just burning me out. I was not being myself on camera, and I didn't even feel like filming my videos. I didn't want to put a video out, but now it's a much easier process, and I actually enjoy filming and just saying what I want to say instead of just sticking to a script, reading out a sentence, then just putting out on camera, reading it again, remembering it, putting it out on camera, and it's just so tiring. Instead, when I film those videos, I have just as much energy, if not more, than before I was doing that. Maybe scripting for you works, and in that case, good. But if you feel super tired after filming a video, then it's probably that you're doing it the wrong way, basically. So if you try to make it good without thinking of doing it perfect, you might not have that creative burnout that so many people tend to have. And a lot of creators have this problem. They try to make perfect videos, and secretly they hate filming on camera. So don't be that person that hates filming. Instead, enjoy the process. It's going to be a lot better, and you're probably not going to burn out if you do that. Now, the next point is enjoying the process. So, as I said, when I was scripting my videos, and this didn't last for a long time, this lasted for one video and I hated it. And I wasn't enjoying the process, that's why I stopped. Enjoying the process is something that's really helpful, because truthfully, when you first start on YouTube, you're not going to get a lot of views, and it's going to take quite a while, most likely, to get a lot of views. Yes, you see some people that blow up overnight, but most likely it's not going to be the case for 99% of us. So if you don't enjoy filming, if you don't enjoy finding the ideas, scripting, if that's your case, or putting bullet points, there's something that's wrong with the process that you're using. It might be faster, it might be more powerful, it might be something that a big YouTuber told you that this was the way to do it. But the truth is, if you hate it, if you don't enjoy the process, you're just going to burn out. You're not going to put out as many videos as you thought you were going to be, even if you say that this time I'm sticking to it, I'm going to put out a video every single week or twice a week, and that's just how I'm going to do it. I'm going to, even if I don't feel like it, I'm going to film a video. But the truth is, that might happen if you enjoy the process, that sometimes you don't really feel like it and you can push yourself to do it. But if every single video you have to push yourself, then there's a very good chance that at some point you're just going to give up. Because I don't know what your why is, and we'll talk about that later on. But if you hate producing videos, it's probably not that you hate actually creating the content or being on camera or making a YouTube channel, but there's something in your process that you hate. You need to change that and find a way that works for you. For me, scripting videos doesn't work. I hate it. I just can't do it, and I can't stay consistent. When I stopped doing that, it's started to feel easy again. So there's some things that you need to take from other people, some other things you need to stop doing because it's just ruining your content. Maybe you just need to ramble on camera, and that's it. So as long as you enjoy the process of finding ideas, scripting, or finding bullet points, editing the video, or very poorly or hardly editing it, if not at all, those things you need to change. You don't need to do all of these things the same way as other people. For me, I just cut out when I have huge blanks or when I'm looking at my notes. That's it. Or in the intro, I cut out a bit more because it needs to be going on and that part is scripted. And the editing is not important. It's not the most important part. Some people will tell you to do that, but that's more for entertainment channels. I believe you need to edit more. But for creators that are helping other people do something, I think that's way more important than. I think that editing doesn't really matter. I've seen tons of channels just blow up overnight with millions of views with no editing at all. Just somebody talking to a camera, speaking their thoughts, and that's it. And they just blew up. They cut out the beginning, the end, that's it. The next thing is look after yourself. I think that a lot of people don't realize how important that is. They want to hustle their way into succeeding on YouTube or something else. It can be anything. If you don't have an outlet of living your life, maybe you have some passions. For me, it's doing all sorts of sports, riding BMX, going to the gym, and all sorts of stuff. And just living your life. Maybe for you, it's something else. And that might sound like it's just wasting your time on something, but really it's just helping you live a life, and then you can implement the things that happen in your life because you do other things than just film YouTube videos. And it all comes together and you can feed it back into the machine of living your life, on top of just having a life and not feeling like you're in prison on a hamster wheel trying to film YouTube video after YouTube video, and that's all you do. That's not a good thing. Just go outside, see your friends, do sports, and that comes back to looking after yourself, but in a way more, like in a broader way, where living your life is super important. Maybe it's seeing your friends, seeing your family, and all of these things can tie back into your content, even when you don't think that at that time it's going to help you. But then you think of something that happened that ties back into your content, and that's helping. If you don't do that, your content is going to feel stale, it's going to feel like AI, and it's not a good thing. The next thing is figuring out your why. And when I first saw this, like people talking about that on all sorts of different subjects, I was like, what does this even mean? Why do I need what's your why? Why do so? I'm going to tell you my why, and hopefully it'll inspire you. So for me, there's a ton of things that I want to do with this channel specifically, and that's inspiring people, teaching cool things to people, and having a creative outlet where I can share with the world what I'm passionate about, even though nobody around me cares about it. For you, it might be something else. It might be building a meaningful life. It might be money. It might be creating an impact. It might be having a legacy. It can be all sorts of different things. And a lot of people don't have the same things. And I think that if you have money as a sole purpose, it might be hard. I said in a previous video that money in itself could be a great way. If that's your obsession, I don't think you'll fail as fast, but you need to at least enjoy making videos, because a lot of creators will tell you that if you start because you want to make money, you're going to fail because it's going to get hard, and as soon as it gets hard, you're going to stop. I don't agree with that. I think that if really you're struggling with money and it's something that really is deep into you, then it can be something that you won't stop. With that said, I don't think that if you really hate creating content, you just want to make it for the money, then at that point it's going to be hard. I think that you need to enjoy the content, the creation, and then maybe if money is your thing, then great. I don't really think that it's a bad thing. It's not for me. I would love to make, as much money as possible, but that's not why I create content. So, but there are some people like that just want to make money, and I think that's not a bad thing, contrary to what most people think. Now, the next point is, I think, the most important point in this whole video, and that is building a personal connection with your audience. I've said in this video that why I started creating content. I said that I struggled when I was scripting my videos, and I've seen in other videos some struggles where I was struggling at school, where things were hard for me, where I had zero self-confidence, if not less than zero. All of these things are super important to put in your content, and I didn't realize this at the beginning. If you feel uncomfortable sharing something, then you should definitely share it, because that's what's going to build a connection. That's what people want to see, because especially with AI now where it's all stale content, if you put in your own things that happen to you, your own feelings, your own experiences, that's something that AI can never replicate. And you are the only one that can share that story, because it only happened to you, not somebody else. That's something that you really like. It is the number one thing that you need to put in your content. I try to do that with every video. Sometimes it's harder for me to find some things that connect with the content that I'm trying to make, but I really try to implement that in every single one of my videos, and it feels more and more natural to do that, even though at the beginning it might be hard. That's what builds your connection, that's what people like seeing about you. That just shows you that you're human and not just a robot that's really good at doing this one thing that you're teaching on YouTube. If you have one point to remember in this whole video, it is that. In fact, I made a whole video about how real people are blowing up on YouTube, which you can watch right here. That just helps you out with that side of YouTube, and not only that, but a ton of things that are just going to help you blow up your content even more. With that said, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.